All right, let's see what's going on here. YouTube. Am I just frozen or testing, testing, testing? Am I just frozen or? Okay, so the delay is pretty significant. So the delay is pretty significant. Let's see. How do I do chat on screen? I don't understand. How do I do chat on screen? I don't understand. Forget it. How's this connection gonna be? I don't know if it's gonna be able to handle all of this. Maybe. Mm. We'll see. Test live. We're testing. We're testing to see. Hi. What's up, everybody? Please let me know if the connection is like shitty. You're on early? Yeah, I'm troubleshooting. I'm trying to stream Dark Souls to YouTube. So if people want to watch on YouTube, they can do that. But I don't know if it's going to work because this is the first time I've done something like this. So I'm not really sure what's going to happen. If you can accurately define a woman to me, well, the accurate definition of woman is going to be based on context. If you want to come to me and say that the definition of a woman is adult human female, it depends on the context of whether that would be accurate or not. When you say accurate, it leads me to believe that you have a preferred definition. Hi, Tiny Sheet. How you doing? Come here, Hank. What's up, buddy? Meow. So what is a biological woman? A woman who is living. Do you mean to say female? Because I don't see biological. I think when people say biological woman, they're trying to sneak by the premise that woman is always adult human female. I'm eating a cold McDouble. We've all been there. Hi, buddy. Nope, biological woman. A biological woman would be a living woman. Biological means living, and woman is social category. Cis women are biological women, as are trans women. Mwah. What do you think about the rising numbers of detransitioners? I don't think much. I haven't seen the numbers to suggest that. I mean, PragerU is going to put out a documentary about detransitioners, and there was like 4 or 5 people in the documentary, and all of them were like self-hating trans people that were like influenced to detransition because of like Christian moral relativism. Hi, Age. I recently found your lives and have since become a frequent viewer. Thank you. What is a barn? Who gives a fuck about the pelvis? Why are people so obsessed with bones? Archaeologists affirm people's gender identity, even though they're dead, and it literally like affirmation doesn't matter after people are dead. It matters when they're alive. That's why I don't understand like people making this argument. So I need to maybe end and figure out how to link my YouTube in case you guys want to watch me play Dark Souls. I don't know. So the issue is I need to figure out audio because I like to debate. I would prefer to read chat while I'm not playing games, and then when I am playing games, I would prefer to actually be speaking with someone. That way, my attention visually can be on my monitor to play games, and then I can talk with someone. You can't really do that just interacting with chat. Hello, what's up? So, if you were here the other night, me and Ellie were talking with Quasi. Quasi wanted to bring up studies to confirm some sort of position. Are you staying on here? Yeah, probably. I'm dual streaming right now to YouTube. Nate, probably. What about Nate? Thanks for following. Yeah, so transphobes want to come in and bring up studies about how sex reassignment surgery causes more suicidality. I looked into the study they provided. It was wrong. It wasn't saying what they were actually saying. So that's the thing about evidence. When people come to you with evidence, you need to like actually look into the studies that they're talking about. Because a lot of the times people end up embarrassing themselves. Um, yeah, I might have to restart. Nate probably knows how to fix audio. Oh, well, if you listen on TikTok, then you're going to be able to hear the audio. What I'm nervous about is how if people watch a YouTube stream because they want to watch Dark Souls, I don't know that they would be able to hear. And so I have OBS pulled up. I could open TikTok and then I could add the TikTok audio into OBS so that people could hear it. But honestly, I feel like that's like a little bit of a pain in the ass, to be honest. My gender identity is a chicken. That's a stupid thing to say. Dino, do you have any like actual arguments or what? Because I feel like I've addressed everything you brought up. I thought when you play with your mustache, it's like self-soothing. It's like people cross their arms. You're supposed to look tough, when you cross your arms, but it's like you're giving yourself a hug. It's self-soothing. Me like messing with the facial hair and my hair on my head is self-soothing. All right, what's up, everybody? What's going on? Uh, we can try and debate. I forgot to turn gifts back on, but it doesn't really matter. Maybe I'll do that if I restart. King, thank you. Clearly. Grab me a soda, Hank. A sody pop. I've had movies rented out for the library for like the past 4 months, and I haven't brought them back, and I feel like they're gonna get mad pretty soon. Yes, same as the one that said opiates were safe in the 90s. Nobody said they were safe. What do you mean? Do you mean that they weren't addictive? Nobody really said that they weren't addictive. We've known that opioids were safe or were addictive for like hundreds of years. Literally have a secret crush on Nate. Aw, cute. Mm. I need a way to bring chat onto my computer and blow it up because I don't know if I can get my phone in a position where it's going to be easy for me to see. Have you seen the documentaries? Well, they're FDA approved. Like I feel like opioids should be FDA approved. There's people with chronic pain. I mean, obviously they have potential to be dangerous and they are addictive. And if you want to talk about overprescription, we can talk about that. But who's Nate? He's a friend from my Discord. He comes around here sometimes. Sigh. What's the sigh? Do you have a disagreement with the I'm a person with pain, with chronic pain 24/7. I'm sorry to hear that. I just feel like when you're talking about opioids, it's kind of a nuanced topic, and being like all bad is kind of a silly thing. What's a transmedicalist? A transmedicalist is a person who only views trans people as legitimate in their identity if they've have a diagnosis of gender dysphoria, if they have gone through some level of medical gender affirming care. It's different for everyone. It's arbitrary. Some transmedicalists say that you have to have a diagnosis and you have to be on hormones. Some say that you have to have sex reassignment surgery. So that's what a transmedicalist would be. A TERF is a trans exclusionary radical feminist. A woman is a person with a gendered schema that would be in alignment with females, or people that we would generally consider to be female. Easiest way to say it as a woman is anyone that genuinely identifies as a woman. I need a haircut so bad. Oh my God. Call my barber. We might do a hat stream. No cowboy hat. What are you doing, Hank? Can you get me a hat, please? This fucking cat. All you do is mooch. Literally. You've never paid rent once. Can there be bias in studies? Sure. I find the host super attractive. Thank you, Amanda. Oh, okay. I guess we're just getting on my lap. I gotta go get a hat. Please don't put a cowboy hat on. What the fuck, Abby? You were supportive. Please don't. All right, I'll give you one word. Fuck is my hat? What the fuck? What did you do with my hat? I never said studies are the holy grail to truth. Is the hate behind the curtain? Probably. Oh, the hat? No. Why? What do you mean, why? I don't know what that means. It ain't back there. Wear a hat with a little umbrella, please. How about a hat with the little propeller on the top? I'm gonna go into the liquor store wearing overalls and a hat with a propeller and a giant lollipop. Can someone change your opinion if they don't have a study to refer to? Well, what do you mean change my opinion? Trans women are women. What it means to be a woman or a man is social category. What study are you going to pull up to prove me wrong on that? I was speaking specifically about studies. The conversation I had last night, someone was claiming that trans people who have have sex reassignment surgery are more likely to unalive themselves. They linked a study, and their claim was that the control group was trans people who had not had SRS. I looked at the study, and the control group was general population. So they straight up lied. They didn't read the study. They straight up lied, and I called them out on it. So their own study proved what they were saying wrong. Dimmadong, Dimmadong. Did you all watch the Super Bowl? It wasn't the best game ever, to be honest. I mean, I like defensive play, but it was I. Thank you for sharing the live. Lil Dabby says football sucks. Did y'all see Usher though? I thought the Usher Alicia Keys duet was interesting, but I don't know. Usher kind of bores me, to be honest. I wasn't that impressed with the halftime show. I won some money on the game, which was cool. Not a bunch, but uh, excuse me. They're both married. Yeah, I'm seeing a bunch of stuff about Usher had his hands all over Alicia Keys, and it's like I don't know. It's like it's performance art, Like I feel like whoever Alicia Keys' husband is should be like confident enough that he can be cool with his like wife participating in performance art in a way that's provocative. Like it makes it interesting. Wait until the NRL starts from Oz. What the fuck are you talking about? Usher got the beat to make your body go. Yeah, I suppose. What's up, Nate? People were talking about you. They were like, "Where's Nate at? We want Nate." All right. Let me see if I can like structure this a little bit better. I might have to restart. The game was lame. I mean, lame, maybe. I could maybe grant you that. I have arrived. Well, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to restart because I want to play video games and I can't read the chat if I'm playing Dark Souls. The fact that Usher is only 3 days married is a little much, in my opinion. Well, hopefully his wife is cool with what went down. But I could see somebody having their feelings like hurt about that. I get it. I feel like monogamy kind of comes with some level of like personal, I don't know if insecurity is the right word, but I can see somebody having their feelings upset about that. The first 3 quarters, well, I mean, it's definitely defensive football. Like some people don't really want to deal with defensive football. Is anybody gonna want to debate? Angel, I see you're avoiding my question. Chimera, your comment has not come through. There's an objective difference between a Kia and a Mercedes. There's not an objective difference between a man and a woman because man and woman is social category. So if you'd like me to explain the difference between something that's subjective and something that's objective, I can do that. Well, my PlayStation's getting loud. I don't think it likes this remote play. Oh, that's not good at all. Yes, it did. Yeah, so Chimera, when you leave a comment, it shows up for you. It doesn't show up for other people. The chat's moving slow enough that if you left a comment, I would see it. I'm not ignoring it. Your comment literally didn't come up. Yeah, remote play is so my PlayStation is playing to this TV I have over here, and then I'm playing it on my computer. That way I can stream to YouTube. I don't think the link to my YouTube channel is in my The console's starting up. Can you guys hear that? You guys block it because it's true. Okay, Chimera, I don't know if you're like new to how TikTok streams work, but I can't delete comments. The way that a comment gets deleted is that you get muted. You haven't been muted. Your comment just didn't come through. A little? Great. That's wonderful. I need a PS5. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like instead of just assuming that I'm bad faith and that I muted your comment, which wouldn't necessarily be bad faith, just give me the benefit of the doubt. Retype your comment in a better way. It's not terrible. It'll get bad. Yeah, just like copy paste your comment and retype it. Ooh, good. Nobody wants to debate. This is gonna get boring, y'all. Somebody needs to debate. I'm literally bored. I want to address comments. If you disagree, it's not like I'm afraid to read the comment. Why would I bait debate talk and do a prompt like this if I didn't have arguments for it? Hope you had a cool day. Yeah, it was good. I drank an awful lot of soda pop last night, so I needed a lot of recovery time this morning, but so far so good. We're chilling now. You should restart. Yeah. You look sad. I'm not sad. Look who it is. It's Hank Bean. Mwah. Shark said debate animal. I don't know who that is. Look at this boy. Mwah. Every time I have a controller in my hands, he wants to rub all over my fingers and all over my thumbs. You are gonna have to go if you don't behave yourself. Please don't. Please don't what? Hank! For fuck's sake, you literally just made me die. You're out of here. Yeah, I do need to add emotes. Manimal is cancer. The name sounds familiar. Literally, he's purring back there. Yeah, I don't know who Shark and Manimal are. Manimal sounds familiar. What's their niche? They're like a debate bro or something. My YouTube is Age of Peace. I don't know how easy it is to just search YouTube for channels, but if you're not subscribed to me over there, you should. But I'm streaming Dark Souls over there if you'd like to watch. It's the side effects of chemo to my brain. Jeez, he's a rapper. Is he any good? Is he like Tom McDonald? How did you guys like the Ben Shapiro rap? You can link it in your bio. Yeah, I think the Twitch is linked right now. Oh my God. Unreal. Unreal. The only problem with watching the Dark Souls stream is I don't know if people are going to be able to hear if I debate people. I think I would have to open up TikTok in a new window on my computer and then add that to OBS, which I don't really feel like doing. He'll rap and debate you. I hope not at the same time. You already lost the ethical argument about transmedicalism. No, I didn't. You alluded to like when we had a conversation, you alluded to the idea that there are people that will pretend to be trans, and the only way to confirm someone actually being a trans woman is for them to go through all this surgery and stuff. I don't buy that. For one, it ostracizes people that are financially unable or unwilling to receive sex reassignment surgery. Um, And I feel like I don't know if it was you I was talking with or if it was another trans medicalist, but they were basically like, well, if you can't afford it, that sucks. Like, sucks to be you. I'm like, that's horrible. I don't buy into a patriarchal idea that the only way to be valid as a woman is to like fill society's expectations about perceived femininity. Like we had the conversation, what was it, the day before yesterday, and you confirmed my point that trans medicalists aren't capable of making good arguments. Lots of people can't do it because of medical problems. Well, I don't agree with the premise that you're more of a woman if you have sex reassignment surgery. Woman is social category. It literally has nothing to do with body parts. You can't make sense. If you have an issue with something that I've said, then you're free to bring it up. Or if there's something you don't understand, I'd be happy to address it. It's just the patriarchy trying to hold itself together. That's my thoughts on it. Or this idea that women have worked really, really hard for their rights, and so trans people coming in is unfair. Literally, you don't view trans women as women because you people are gender essentialists. Gender is subjective, exactly. The problem with trans medicalism is it's arbitrary whoever determines who's actually a woman. And ultimately it literally just seems like it comes down to, oh well, I find you attractive or I don't find you attractive. If I find you attractive and you meet my level of passability for being a woman, then I'll say that you're legitimate. Damn it. We might restart soon. I'm having a little bit of trouble reading comments and also responding, but comments are slow, which is good. It's just like the US government pitting the right and left against each other. Um, well, I would say that the right wing's attempts to ostracize and demonize trans people are pretty ineffectual. It doesn't even really seem like the Republican base, based on polling, really cares about that stuff. Males are pitting cis women against trans women, so both are divided and easier to control. Yeah, probably. I mean, it seems to be in the perspective of men to ostracize and control women. It's a badge. No real policies or anything to actually help anyone. Yeah, it's just culture war stuff. First, it's like there's people south of the border that are coming to take your jobs, and then it's trans people and LGBT people are trying to corrupt the youth. It's literally allowed few and those trying to farm views off controversy. I mean, this is a thing, right? Like, I would prefer that there were 300 people or 400 people in here instead of 40. And sometimes there's that many viewers. I like it when I have more viewers. I don't know that's farming controversy. I like talking about this stuff. I make arguments for it. I feel like trans people can defend themselves. I don't like they don't need me. This is just like what I like to talk about on live. Oh my Lord. Oh, I keep jumping off the edge. I'm trying to corrupt the youth with my Final Fantasy VII streams, right? TERFs speak facts. No, they don't. They're gender essentialists. They think that trans women are men. They're not. And the way that you would defend that is by saying, "Oh, a woman is a biological female." It's just language prescription. I'm talking about the bigot rage farmers. Yeah, for sure. I understand what you mean. What's up, buddy? Aw. Biological is relating to biology or any living organisms. Yeah, so trans women would fill the category of biological woman. When people say trans women are not biological women, they're trying to sneak back past the premise that they're trying to sneak past the premise of gender essentialism without actually arguing for it. That's why I don't like these biological woman conversations. If you mean to say female, go ahead and say female. Then we can have a conversation about that. For such a small percentage. Yeah, I mean, I like to think of this more as like for me than for anybody else. If other people get stuff out of it, that's cool. Oh my God. Clown, 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 clown. Do you have an argument, Moo? Why are you still pushing this nonsense? Jamal, we've had conversations about this before. I've elucidated how my positions are not nonsense. I've defended them. I don't know, share the live, get people in here. Trans men are men, exactly. And trans women are women. XX or XY. Yeah, see, even biologists aren't even, they don't even really use chromosomes as determining factors for gender anymore, or for sex anymore because of intersex people. You can move to gametes. Gametes are a little bit more sound reasoning. Gametes and ovum for a female. Large gametes and ovum for a female. Or you can do the SRY gene. A male is a person with activation of the SRY gene. I'm an age groupie, literally. Oh, come on. I like these skeleton enemies. I wish there was a way for me to show this on my screen now. I guess I could do remote. I could do mobile gaming. I could do remote play to my phone, and then I could do mobile gaming, but I feel like my internet is not going to be capable of handling that, unfortunately. Dude doesn't even know how to qualify a good argument, but wants to judge others' ability. I think I make pretty good arguments. Thank you. Appreciate that. You know, it would probably be best to play a game that I can pause. There's no such thing as sound reasoning. By what logic is that? Wooden philosopher. Oh, okay. A Phil bro is going to come in and say that it's impossible to make an argument or something like that. I don't know what that means. I just rise. Love that. Dark Souls 3. I need to link it. I'll restart soon and I'll move. I will link it in my bio. Yeah, I don't know what you mean, wooden philosopher. I don't really know what the meaningful distinction is there. I like skeleton enemies. I think they're cool. Am I invisible? No, you're visible. Another Souls fan? Yeah, I just beat the third boss. It took me a little while. The second boss only took me one try, but the third boss, the Abyssal Watchers, that took me like 20, 30 tries. I did not do that on stream. I'm invisible, yay! Gender is subjective. You can't tell someone else what gender they are exactly. Play Power World with me. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about getting it. But I just got this Dark Souls game. I gotta play through this. Oh, not fair. Rigged. Fake news. Damn. Okay, I'm gonna restart because I want people in here to debate. Is anybody watching on YouTube? YouTube. Is anybody watching on YouTube? Nope. We need a sticker. Yellow. Thank you for the roses. Appreciate that. Beautiful, big, beautiful roses. Dash, did you recently subscribe? Or have you been subscribed? If I missed it, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Okay. Tap the screen, y'all. Tap the screen, hit share copy link. It helps get people in here. I would like people in here to debate. That way I can play video games. Thank you for the likes. Appreciate that. Thanks for sharing. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Did you enjoy the Super Bowl? The consensus on the Super Bowl seems to be that it was boring. I feel like chat has been a little bit divided as far as whether or not they enjoyed the halftime show. I thought it was kind of mid, but Alicia Keys was cool. I thought Ludacris was sort of going for the Colin Kaepernick look, which was sort of interesting. I thought it was badass, but it's not really like a big Usher guy. Definitely bored me. Yeah. Post Malone did America the Beautiful. I liked that. Luda woke him up. Yeah, sure. Finally back to the good side of turf talk. Are you agreeing or disagreeing with me? I don't know what you mean. Well, I had thought that the whole trans women are women thing was like settled, that at least on the nominally left side of the community, that we were sort of in agreement with this idea that trans women are women. But now I'm seeing all these lives from TERFs and trans medicalists. I'm agreeing with you. Yeah. So if any TERFs or trans medicalists want to debate, that'd be cool. Or just transphobes in general. Thank you for the likes. Hopefully we can get some people in here. There's a link in the bio to my YouTube channel. You should subscribe to that if you like. I have some videos up there. We're live streaming right now, playing some Dark Souls. Some comments in this live are filtered to protect the community's experience. Sorry about that. I don't know if that's true or not, to be honest. Hope you're all doing well. I didn't have to work today, which was sweet. Oh my Lord. You disagree? Or do you agree? What build are you? I always like tank melee builds. Two-handed weapons, no shields. No, I don't think you can do summons in this game. That's Elden Ring. I don't ever do magic or anything like that. Whoa. Come on, y'all. Where y'all at? The first part of that TikTok announcement is at least accurate. The second part, I don't know what you mean TikTok announcement. They can be whatever they want, however, they can't force others to do the same. The argument that we should affirm and respect people's pronouns is just that it's an argument. There's no forcing to be made. Like I'm not advocating that we jail people for like misgendering. I think you should willingly gender people the way they want to be gendered. Where it said filtered for community enjoyment, I don't know if you guys see that comment from TikTok or if it's just for me. But it's funny because I'll get that comment when there's literally no viewers when I first start. So I don't even think it's true. I think they just kind of tell you in general that comments are going to get filtered or they are being filtered. Oh, come on. How are you alive? I died. You saw it. How exactly do you do that? I don't know what that means. Hi there. I'm doing well. How old are you? You're 20. Okay. What's on your mind? No, I don't want your camera on. Are you here to talk to me or are you here to talk to my chat? If you're here to talk to me, then you can stay up here. If you would like to talk to chat, I can drop you back down. Passive aggressive because it's annoying when people come onto my stream and then they're like, I'm gonna talk to your chat and read your comments. It's like I can read the comments. I'm letting you up here because you said that you were 20. Some people sound younger than they are. You sound like you're younger than you are. You said you're 20. That's all I can go off of. Why are you up here? What do you want to talk about? Oh my God. Go away. You're boring. Guys, this is boring. Like, don't come up here and read the comments. It's his live. He can do whatever he wants. Thank you. Yeah, I don't like. I don't understand why I need to like. I need to listen to you slowly engage with my comments. I can engage with the comments. Thank you. You scared her off. It's okay. Hi, Cecilia. How old are you? Okay. I don't. The is weird to me. When is your birthday? Okay. What's on your mind? Mhm. Yeah, trans women are women. Uh, well, what would make someone a boy? So what it means to be a boy or a girl, or what it means to be a man or woman, is social category. That comes from an innate sense of self. You can't just claim to be a boy or a girl. You have to have an innate sense of self of being such. Wow, this is riveting. Do you have like any arguments or anything to say, or you just up here to be like, and yeah, and okay. Oh, you're gone. Okay. You either left or Ahmad kicked you. She left. Well, someone's back. JPack. All right. Doing well. How old are you? What's on your mind? Yeah, so TERF is a trans exclusionary radical feminist. Trans medicalist is someone that believes that someone's trans identity or the identity of trans people is only valid if they meet certain criteria. That criteria could be things like a gender dysphoria diagnosis, the idea that a trans person is only legitimate if they're on hormone replacement therapy, and sometimes only if they've had sex reassignment surgery. Why not? Which parts? Bone density in general varies across whatever sex you are. If you want to talk about vaginas, there's females born without vaginas. It's called vaginal agenesis. Interesting. I didn't know that. Yeah, I don't really care about bone density though. Man and woman are social categories that they're not really tied into our sex. Well, what makes a person a man or a woman is an innate sense of self. Gender identity is not related to our biology. No, no, it is factual. Like gender is a subjective sense of self. The existence of trans people refutes this. Okay, I mean, I have arguments for my positions. I'm making them. You don't have a refutation. So your argument is one of gender essentialism, which I don't prescribe to. It's the idea that the necessary conditions for being a man or a woman are based in our biology, or are based in our sex. I don't agree with that. You said that what it means to be a woman is something like parts. I said what parts? You said bone density, and then you said a vagina. Well, I said there's women with vaginal agenesis who don't have vaginas. And someone just alluded to the idea that that bone density changes with hormone therapy. Sure, I like having sex. It's cool. What do you mean? I mean, sex matters, and sex and gender are related. They're just not inextricably linked. Uh-huh. Can two concepts be related yet not mutually exclusive and both matter? So I don't understand like what you're trying to say. So sex matters, gender matters, they're related, they're just not inextricably linked. They're not mutually exclusive concepts. So I don't really know what point you're trying to make here. Does sex matter? Sure, sex matters. Sex does matter. But gender is a subjective experience. How is that a reductio? How is that a reductio or a refutation of the idea that trans women are women? You're literally no, you're not asking a question. Like, okay, so cut the bullshit and get down to actually what your argument is. It's that you're a gender essentialist. I already refuted the idea of gender essentialism. You're literally just repackaging gender essentialism. Are you really not smart enough? Are you really not smart enough to understand what you're doing right now? You are literally just doing gender essentialism again. Okay, this is literally just repackaging gender essentialism. I'm not deflecting on anything. I already addressed gender essentialism. I'm not going to play this game. I'm not going to address this. It doesn't make any sense. I'm not going to engage with this. You didn't debunk shit. You need to stop talking. Can I get some help with muting this moron? I don't care. You already made no, I'm not going to bring other people up because this idiot can't stop talking. Okay, okay. You're talking about like the crux of the this argument here is about gender essentialism. It's the idea that a person who is a woman is a person with a uterus or a person like okay, I'm going to keep muting you. I'm not going to answer the question because I already refuted your idea of gender essentialism. There's no debunking. What it means to be a woman is social category. Gender is a subjective experience. Move on to a new point. Okay. You can fuck off. How about that? Okay. This whole idea of you're an EMT and if you're with a male person who says they're having a miscarriage, well, it's like, okay, that's probably not happening. The only reason you're bringing that up is to talk about the necessary conditions of what it means to be a woman being someone who can give birth. It's a stupid thing to say, and I already refuted the idea of gender essentialism. You're not intelligent enough to realize that I already addressed that, and you're not intelligent enough to know your own argument, so you just repackage it. What EMT, literally what Nicole said in the comments, what EMT is doing this? This is something that doesn't happen. Stop pretending it happens. Like you're being silly. L host, how? Okay, I'll bring you up. I can embarrass you too. Let's see if you interrupt as much as the last person. Hey, what's up? Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna bring up this next person and debate them. I'll probably drop you. I can bring you back up in a little bit. I just want to. I feel like one v oneing people right now. Bye. JPack, go away. Oh my God, I brought him in again. Get out of here. Oh my God, what is happening? Your question is stupid. I'm not engaging with that. Your question was dumb. Okay, creator, can you request again? I know, I keep clicking you off. I'm sorry. What in the hell? Hey, how old are you? All right, what's on your mind? Oh, we didn't have the conversation 5 years ago. So what? We're having it now. We didn't have a conversation about who was vaccinated and unvaccinated, and to such a large degree until COVID happened. There's necessary conditions for being a woman. The necessary condition for being a woman is an innate sense of self. I'm not claiming that anyone can be woman. I'm claiming that you have to have an innate sense of self of being a woman. You have to genuinely self-ID as a woman. You can't just say you are. Huh? I already answered. I can. It's a subjective experience. I can't know whether you're being legitimate or not. I don't know what that means. Yeah, okay, so have you ever heard of have you ever heard of the have you ever heard of the philosophical idea of like I think therefore I am? Okay, so it's basically this philosophical idea that I'm bringing it up because it's about a subjective experience of consciousness. So I know that I'm consciousness, but I have no way of confirming that you have a conscious experience. There's people called solipsists that don't believe that anybody but themselves is conscious. Um, so this whole idea of like, oh, we can't objectively confirm someone's identity. I don't care. I take people at face value. I have conversations with them. So when you say, how can you tell I'm not a woman? Well, based on the conversations we're having, I don't believe you to be legitimate. You could be, but like based on the conversation, I don't believe that you are. Okay. Doesn't. Do you have any actual arguments or what? No. So like again, gender is a wholly subjective experience. What's your position on it? I'm guessing that you're a gender essentialist. You believe the necessary condition for being a woman is being an adult human female? Well, I could, the way that we validate people is by being nice and using their preferred pronouns. But what I would say is there's no way for me externally to be able to tell what someone's gendered identity is. I mean, you can call it what you want. I don't really get what your position is, though. Like, what about it is a crisis? The only crisis is that there's transphobes that like don't understand the idea of the differentiation between gender and sex. I don't know what you mean by set in stone. I mean, it can be measured objectively. You can change primary and secondary sex characteristics of the body. Okay, so how would you define sex? How would you define sex? Yeah, so chromosomes isn't really a good way to make a differentiation about sex in terms of biology. Scientists really, for the most part, use gametes. They use gonads and gametes. They're not really using chromosomes because there's chromosomal variation with intersex people. So generally speaking, what a layman would say, I'm trying to elucidate this position about sex here. So sex is like if we talk about a person who's female, we say of or denoting a person who can produce ovum and large gametes. So it has to do more with gametes and It has to do more with gametes and gonads than it has to do with chromosomes. So that would be the internal aspect of sex. And then like the exterior body, genitals, and breast tissue development, body hair, those are also characteristics of sex. So can a person change their sex? Well, they can change things about their sex. How many things do they need to change before a male can become a female? All characteristics. No. Listen. So they're all so these gonads, gametes, chromosomes. Okay, hold on. Let me make my argument here, and then you can respond. Okay, so they're all characteristics, right? So gonads, gametes, chromosomes, genitals, breast tissue development, body hair. These are all characteristics of sex. Some of them can be changed, some of them can't. So what about a person? What about an intersex person with mosaicism who has half of the chromosomes in their body are XX and half are XY? What if they had sex reassignment surgery? What if they Well, what I'm saying is the point that I'm making is it is just kind of a nuanced thing. Well, so that's okay. Do you know what nuance means? No. So the nuance is just the nuance. Okay, so the nuance is just to say that sex is like more complicated than we generally give it credit for. It's more bimodal than it is binary. Bimodal meaning that generally speaking, people tend to fall on into the male and female category. Can I finish my point and then you can respond? It's bimodal because generally speaking, people tend to fall on either ends of a spectrum, but not everybody does. And you're saying 1% of the population, the low end of intersex people is 1.7. I've seen it as high as 3%. And they're also doing karyotype testing on fertilized eggs. And in some samples, they're finding that these fertilized eggs, something as high as like 9% of them are intersex. I'm playing video games. See? I'm playing video games. I'm not reading from something. And also your argument is one of ad populum. So even if you were correct that only 1.7% of the global population was intersex, we're still talking about millions of people. So like I don't agree with this idea that you can negate my arguments because they're a small portion of the population. What do you mean naturally? What do you mean? What is abnormal? What is abnormal? No, I know what abnormal means. Are you speaking of trans people or are you speaking on people that are intersex? Okay, well, I would say it's uncommon. I mean, you can use the word abnormal if by abnormal you mean not in the majority, but I don't like the term abnormal because it implies kind of implies some level of like moral prescription, like abnormal equals bad. I don't think there's anything wrong with being intersex or being trans. Yeah, so I would say it's abnormal. Most people, I would say it's abnormal because, okay, so first of all, you wanted to make this appeal to nature and to the naturalistic fallacy to say that natural things are better. Then you kind of move back on that. And now you're using normal and abnormal. I would say that can't, so I would say being trans and intersex is abnormal. I would also say that cannibalism is abnormal. The reason I don't use terms for both of them is because one is abnormal. They're both abnormal in the sense that they're uncommon. Cannibalism is abnormal also because it's bad. It's unethical. Being trans is not unethical. That's why I don't like the language that you're using. Yes, morality is subjective. Yeah, I'm a moral anti-realist. I'm a moral anti-realist. Yes, that is the like I'm a moral anti-realist. I don't believe in objective morality. Like the only decision that I can make when talking about like moral positions is to speak from my perspective. What do I believe in? I subscribe to I subscribe. Would you like me to tell you what I believe in, or are you just asking rhetorically? I subscribe to axiomatic values. I subscribe to axiomatic values of the reduction of human suffering and the maximization of human happiness and freedom, as long as that happiness and freedom doesn't come at the rights and expenses of others. I don't know what part of what I said led you to believe that. I never said anyone had to, I never said everyone had to agree. I never said that we can reduce all harm. I never said that we can eliminate harm. What I advocate for is the reduction of human suffering. That's the axiom by which I argue my positions. By arguing with I I don't are you talking about like a karmic view of suffering? Can you give me some examples? I agree. Do you disagree that we should work to reduce human suffering? Yes, there is. Yeah, after feudalism we introduced the ideas of the Enlightenment, um, and there was a reduction of harm. We freed the slaves. We had civil rights in the 1960s. We made society more amicable for African American people. There's many things that we can do to reduce human suffering. What do you mean? Where is the harm passed on to? The integration of the black community into American society was a good thing. Where was the harm passed on to? To the Middle East? Well, I would say that has to do with capitalism more than the idea that we freed the slaves or that we integrated black people into society. Okay, let's do that. I don't know. I don't really know what you mean. You seem to view harm as like matter and energy. Like the idea of the conservation of matter and energy is not the same thing as suffering. Hmm. Yeah, maybe some people have said that it's easier to envision the end of the world than the end of capitalism, but I think there's ways to do it. But okay, so if we were to do that and it was to reduce some harm, your prescription here is that there's no way to actually reduce harm and that harm just gets passed on to another person. So if we talk about like the transatlantic slave trade and we said we stopped doing that, we decided it is morally unethical to own human beings as property. We ended that practice. That vastly reduced my position is that this vastly reduced human suffering. Your position seems to be there was no reduction in suffering. The suffering was just passed on to other people. And you said that we just passed it on to the Middle East. I don't really know what you're trying to say. Are you Christian? That's interesting. Yeah, usually the suffering worshipers that I talk to are Christian. Okay. So your position is one of like the battle-hardened male, right? And that males who suffer greatly are going to be like better people ontologically. Oh, okay. So you just like don't have any position or what? Okay. Why don't you go ahead and make the position? Because you were in my comments. You were in my comments saying how I took an L and how the guest that was interrupting me was winning, and you've come up here and basically said nothing. So if you want to get like to an actual point, you could do that. Specifically, what is the brainwashing? Specifically, what is the brainwashing? Why are you so vague? Your vague arguments are boring me. Your misunderstanding of history is not my problem. When I say I advocate for the reduction of human suffering and you say it's impossible to can you stop interrupting me? I can't you cannot eliminate what specifically about my this is getting so boring, dude. You keep interrupting. You need to close your mouth. There's delay and you need to address things as they come one at a time. I said reduce. I said I argue from an axiom of the reduction of human suffering. When did I say eliminate all suffering? What the fuck specifically are you doing? We have reduced human suffering. The level of crime, of unaliving, of all kinds of stuff has gone down because of modernity. What? I never argue that I'm some arbiter. You asked about my personal convictions and I answered them. What the fuck are you talking about? Yes, you did. We were talking about morality and you asked what do I believe in? I already elucidated that. Are you drunk? Literally, people were here to confirm that you asked that. Okay, that's interesting. Good for you. If you want to come up another time, can you please come with arguments? You came with no arguments. You came with no arguments. You asked for my moral convictions. I said that I believe in an axiom of the reduction of human suffering, and you did some historical revisionism where us giving black people, integrating black people into society, just the suffering from that was just pushed onto the Middle East. You have no idea what you're talking about. I did. I did. You asked how, as a society, we've reduced human suffering. I said we did it through the integration of black people. And you said that that harm was just passed on to the Middle East. How? You never answered this. How did the slaves start? What do you mean passed on? What the fuck are you talking about? The transatlantic slave trade? I don't know specifically. I mean, I think it was like French and the British and used slaves, and then we had the American colonies, and then we used slaves for like production in America. And then we ended it, and that was a reduction of human suffering. To what? What are you talking about? What are you talking? In what way? How is the reduction of human suffering by ending the transatlantic slave trade just passing the suffering on? Yeah, absolutely. What does that have to do with the slave trade? You haven't demonstrated that. I never said we end suffering, I say we reduce it. You seem to think that suffering is like matter energy and it can't be created or destroyed, only transformed. I don't know where this theory comes from. I think it's very silly. Yes. It means make less. The reduction of human suffering is a good thing. Yes, reduce. Subtract from suffering. So so wait a minute, hold on. So the argument that the decision to no longer own human beings being good because it reduced human suffering, it's pretty hard to argue against that. And now you're saying that there are people who say that they still face racial injustice in America. I think those people would still agree that not being owned is better is a preferable outcome. So again, I claim that we cannot eliminate suffering, but we can reduce it. Good deflection. Do you have anything else you want to bring up? Okay. We're not talking about government assistance here. We're not talking about that. You think do you okay, hold on. This is like totally going off the rails here. You're gonna have to excuse the interruptions because of my delay and stuff. So, Creature, do you actually want to talk about the prompt? What's cut off? I don't know what's cut off. I don't know what phone you're using. It says trans women are women. It says turfs and trans medicalists are incapable of making good arguments. They are. They filled the necessary condition of being women. Sports are the necessary condition for being a man or a woman. We can talk about we can talk about sports if you want. We can talk about sports if you want. We can talk about how trans people have been allowed in the Olympics since 2004, and the only person that's trans that has ever won a gold medal was a non-binary person in 2020. So it took nearly 20 years for a trans person to win a gold medal. So if your position, I'll help you elucidate your position because you don't seem intelligent enough to make it yourself. You're a gender essentialist. You view what it means to be a man or woman. You view gender as objective when gender is a subjective experience.
I don't know what you mean by code. There's no code to enter. Yes, there is.
Aren't you a man? Aren't you a man? Shouldn't you know about this? I thought men were better than women. Are you for real? Or are you just up here to troll?
Conversation. I'm very capable. Don't think you are, because the fact that you're trying to say that men are better than women when you literally got so emotional, you got so easily emotional that you proved my theory by being a misogynist and a sexist about 2 minutes into our conversation. Well, men are calm and monotone here. You're proven my point. Well, men are obviously the heteros are up to heteros. Yes. Men have had the worst of everything and still came out. Oh, they have? Okay. Tell me about your sufferings. Yeah, so I want to ask you this question. Do you think it was better? Yeah, Creator, please tell me about your sufferings, Cassette Weight Man. I want to hear all about it. Suffering. I'm very well.
Suffering. I thought suffering was unavoidable.
Suffering is a good thing. How has it made you? Tell me suffering. How it's made you a good person. Yeah. So it brought me my freedom actually. So I think it's brought you your freedom. How did you suffer? You still haven't explained that. Men suffer through everything. Like what? We can start off with like if we're talking about the United States. Yeah. Do you think it was better? You suffer through you. I've asked you this 4 times. I work jobs that women can't. Like what? Nuclear engineer.
God dang it. Hmm.